more and more I think about this film, the more and more I think it's excellent. It's definitely an above and beyond outing by Darren Aronofsky, and there's a level of craft here that's just playing with some normal tropes, but also giving it a lot of style and gravitas that you wouldn't expect. And then to have a killer cast also knock it out of the park, pun intended, to take this and carry you through. This movie feels long for a shorter runtime, and I think that actually is what makes it feel like it's got weight, because you actually get his backstory, but in a interesting way with car crash and action in regards to that. But then really what pulls this whole thing together, the glue that makes this movie really interesting, is how Austin Butler's character is dynamic and how his character arc plays out over the course of the film, and where he finds his comfort and solace from his past trauma. And that is what really, he feels similar to Tumbleweed, Jeff Bridges in The Big Lebowski, right? He's just reacting to the world around him. He doesn't seem to take ownership of it until he does. And when he does, it still kind of goes awry, but in a meaningful way. And we learn things as he learned things, and that's really effective. Just him pulling out that lighter, right? One of the Jewish Haddish brothers pulling that lighter out at the end is absolutely masterful, because it just appears in the shot and you see Austin Butler's reaction. It's great. And then that tension builds, of course, and then they admit to their wrongdoing, and then all the stuff happens with the car crash, and it is what it is. He gets the money, but it's just a very satisfying movie, and it's really quite thought-provoking without being so heady like Darren Aronofsky usually is. And there's enough there that it really makes you, go with this character and feel for him against his trauma in a way that's natural and creates a sympathetic feeling for his, I guess you could call it PTSD, and the way that he overcomes that because he has to survive. Fair enough. I think there's a lot of funny moments in this film, and the way that they play with some of the action and some of the, ridiculousness of these characters. I mean, the machine gun flying up out of his hand because he doesn't know how to use one, or hitting him with the baseball bat, right? Matt Smith as the Russ character is one of the highlights of this film, and he's just always on fire right now. And I think that every outdoor shot in this movie just goes hard because the camera movement uses its space, and whether it's a dolly or a crane shot, even just the first crane shot when he's pulling you from the World Trade Centers and he circles down to the bar, right? That alone was just joyful to watch. So just to see high-level craft on display with a story that's not as heady as Aronofsky normally does, but it still has depth and interest and in human nature, intriguing qualities, and then to have that added to knockout performances by this cast, it's just great. I think that, the more I talk about it and the more I think about it, it's definitely up there. I'm even starting to convince myself that this is one of my next highest rated films. But for now, I'm going to keep it as excellent, because I did feel like it dragged in some scenes. I felt like there was certain elements that I just was like, oh, why haven't we moved on yet? Or why is this taking so long to take place? And maybe some of that is just taste, but also maybe the movie was already too long, even though it was short. I don't know. What did you guys think? Is that really the issue? Or did some scenes not go on too long? Did you feel that way? I think this is a great movie, and probably going to watch it again at some point. Future Greg here. Something I didn't even mention in this review was the music. Connecting it with the Idols and the post-punk stuff and giving it that down and dirty vibe really adds to the style of this film and makes it completely at another level. All of the elements of this full movie really come together to be greater than the sum of its parts. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.